Welcome back. A Minnesota man's efforts to get to the roots of his family tree reveals an incredible story of resilience, honor, and also is being recognized by one of the largest figures in American history. KARE's Samantha Fisher spoke with him about his great-great-uncle's extraordinary tale.
You never know exactly what you're going to find.
Pete Langenfeld
It's been an interesting ride.
was researching his family tree.
I was just looking for information on my great-grandmother.
Born Helen Houghton, she rests at Oakwood Cemetery, just blocks away from Peter's Hastings home. The roots of these hollowed headstones stretching all the way to New York, a family tree growing.
She had two brothers, and her husband and his brother,
At the same time,
all in the Civil War.
a war developing between states. Helen's older brother, Union Army Captain Charles Houghton, was barely in his 20s on July 30th, 1864, when his actions during the Battle of the Crater earned the esteem of his countrymen.
Wouldn't leave the battlefield until everything was done. This lists all the battles.
Months later, Houghton again displayed extraordinary bravery
It was a tough time to live.
as the siege of Petersburg raged on,
He'd been injured 2 times in the morning and kept fighting.
until a shell fragment took his fight from the battlefield to the operating table. Houghton's leg, the biggest casualty.
He went through the surgery, everything was fine,
Until a few days later,
and then he started bleeding again. Doctors worked through the night. Because of the bravery that he showed, his name was very well known.
a veteran so valiant, he earned a place in a Pulitzer Prize-winning biography about someone else.
He was ghostly pale, laying on his cot, and when he woke up, Abraham Lincoln was standing over him, talking to him.
He kissed Houghton's white cheek. With great sobs shaking him, he exclaimed, "Poor boy, you must live." The major's whispered answer, "I intend to, sir," was just audible.
Makes for an interesting tree.
Yeah, definitely.
While Lincoln would survive for just a few more weeks after their encounter, Houghton lived another 50 years, 16 of them decorated with the military's most prestigious prize.
1898, he was awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor and buried at Arlington Cemetery.
Over hundreds of years and hundreds of miles, the Hastings branch of the Houghton family tree
My heritage is farmers, hardworking people who just wanted to make a life and raise their family.
learned the background they once considered humble,
I'm proud.
harbors heroes, after all.
Sweet story there by Sam. Well, lots of people have band shirts, but none like the one that you're about to see. Designed by a t-shirt maker for one printing of one shirt only, but worn so many more times. Boyd Hoopert has this story.
Tahoe Sportswear started in 1995.
If there's one thing
This is screen printing.
Mark Aho knows, it's volume.
T-shirts, and more t-shirts.
How many t-shirts?
Close to 1,000 an hour.
How many?
I don't know if we've eclipsed 10 million yet, but we're probably pretty close.
10 million
Shirts.
to 1.
There's only been one time that I've ever said, guys, set up the machines. I want a shirt for me.
The year 1997.
This is it right now.
A single shirt now on a desk in the office of a man who's clearly a fan of a certain band.
If you ask me who my favorite band is, I won't even mention the Beatles because they're at a class above themselves. Just says John Lennon, 1940 to 1980. John made that drawing himself. I made one.
1. He wore to a Ringo Starr concert.
Got a lot of nice shirt, cool shirt, awesome shirt, high fives on the shirts.
1. That started something.
AC/DC, seeing Joan Jett and Billy Idol at the Xfinity Center, Paul McCartney at Camden Yards.
Perhaps you've noticed the common denominator in each of Mark's concert photos.
Fish Lips at Bob Seger. Paul McCartney again. Probably by the early 2000s, I had come to the conclusion that I will never wear another shirt to a concert. 38 Special and Loverboy.
And he hasn't.
It saw the Stones at least 6 or 7 times.
So how many total has Mark's shirt seen?
350 or more. 350 or more concerts.
We see him in the shirt and we got to ask, okay, what show are you going to tonight? Where are you and Mom headed to?
Tanner is Mark's son.
Diana Ross at the State Fair with my wife Karen.
I mean, that shirt has seen more concerts than a lot of people will see in their whole entire life.
Taylor, too.
Definitely.
Going to see Night Ranger.
Mark does wash it when it needs it.
We've got some little cracks in there.
Yet it's possible the shirt that's seen Strawberry Field's 78 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers and the Hall of Fame might outlive him.
We've actually talked about, if I will anything to anyone, the kids are going to fight over who's going to get Dad's oversized, stretched out concert shirt.
Eventually, maybe me or my brother would start wearing it to concerts.
Because
More concerts for the shirt.
too unique to even consider making another
My daughter and I seen the Goo Goo Dolls.
or selling the one he has.
You probably get quarter at a garage sale.
Imagine that.
$1 zillion in my world.
Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, Fridley.
Okay, Paul McCartney at Camden Yards, incredible. So after at least 350 concerts in his John Lennon shirt, what was Mark's favorite? And he says that seeing Paul McCartney from the 5th row at Target Field actually was. Get this, Mark sent in this picture yesterday morning. He was in Charlotte on business Friday night and wore this shirt to go see Foreigner and Lynyrd Skynyrd. Great stuff. All right, stick with us. We got weather coming up after the break.